I've been sleeping on my mate's sofa for 2 weeks now.
I've been sleeping at my mate since I left home.
I was kicked out of home 2 weeks ago, and now I've just been staying with mates.
We are all homeless.
The start of it all happening really was the fact that I didn't get on at all with my stepdad. I lived at home with my mum, my stepdad and my little sister. My stepdad at the time, he liked to drink a lot, gamble a bit. Didn't see eye to eye to the point where we ended up getting arrested quite a few times for fist fights. I had enough of it. I realised that if I'd have stayed there, one of us would have ended up either seriously hurt or getting a serious criminal charge for it. It's never a nice feeling to realise that the two people that are meant to be caring and looking after you really can't do as much of a good job as they should. And looking back on it, I was in serious danger. I'm quite surprised that neither of us ended up in hospital. I started off sofa surfing with mates, crashing on sofas anywhere. Got them with a couple of nasty characters at the time, but life goes on. School, college and anything else like that was out of the question because I'd spend the whole day looking for the next place to sleep. The first week or two of sleeping on couches wasn't too bad. That's the point where friends go, oh yeah, he just needs a place to stay for a little while, but after the first couple of weeks when you start running out of places to go, that's the point when things get really worrying. That's the point when you start thinking, shit, I am gonna have to end up on the streets at one point or another. The whole thing of really trying to find where the limit is of outstaying your welcome, that's a horrible thing as well because it's very uneasy for somebody to turn you away when they know that you haven't got anywhere else to go. It's horrible because you always think, oh yeah, you know, I've got a lot of mates, I've got a lot of people I can rely on. But it's amazing how quickly when you ask favours, people start to turn you away. It's amazing how quickly they start to think of you as a moocher instead of as a mate. The first couple of weeks of staying on couches, I kind of realised that the best thing to do would be to see who's actually who's having a party or who's getting drunk or who's going through some kind of shit, because that was always the time when they'd want people around. The sleeping on sofas came to an end when I ran out of places to stay, and it's always horrible when you kind of, the last kind of couple of hours of panic, I'm gonna be sleeping outside tonight. Always after a week or two, things would die down again and people would kind of be like, yeah, you could stay at mine for a couple of nights. But it's just, it's the fact of knowing that there's nowhere else for you to go. That's the most horrible feeling in the world. Ended up camping a lot. It was all right if it was the middle of summer, but in the winter it was horrible to be sat in a tent by yourself. Whenever people see somebody on the streets, they do often take the piss a lot. When there was times that I was camping, I had a tent set fire to. I had someone try and drag me and throw me in a river. The worst one was always them urinating on the tent. Spent a lot of the time drunk because either that would be the best time to crash on a mate's sofa or because it was just so cold that was the only way I could sleep. I felt a lot of, I guess, anger towards authority. I felt as if nobody gave a shit really. I felt abandoned. If I was going to give advice to anyone in the same or similar situation, it would be find as much support as possible. There is help out there, you just need to get hold of it and grab it with both hands.